Merryman, drummer of Cephalic Carnage. Thank you very much for taking a couple minutes to speak with us here tonight.
Absolutely.
You guys are getting ready to headline here at the Summit Music Hall on January 29th, 2016. And you just were telling us that you're getting ready to warm up to go to Iceland for a show.
Yeah, I'll be playing my birthday in Iceland. We'll go out there to play on April 2nd. This will be pretty cool.
And you've never been there before, I take it?
The band has, but I wasn't able to make that trip.
Okay, excellent.
Patrick, or Patrice, one of my fill-in drummer, pretty much did that show, so.
Right. And
yeah, this will be my first time there.
Right. Has it been a while since you've traveled with the band, or?
We did the Baltimore Metal Fest, Maryland Death Fest. That was the most recent travel. So that was May last year.
Right. And are you guys working on the follow-up to Misled by Certainty?
We're trying.
Yeah.
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 It's a slow process.
Right.
Well, you guys just keep getting better and better and better. It's got to be getting harder and harder to make an album.
It's hard to get the time together. I think a lot of this album is probably going to be written with sending files and stuff back and forth.
Right.
We'll take, like, I guess the, I don't know, the adult way to write an album.
Right.
I think we might get more progress if we don't have to actually see each other and deal with each other.
Right.
So we'll see.
Right.
Is there any kind of a general topic that you're going for this time with the album, or any theme behind it whatsoever?
No idea yet. That usually comes towards the end.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once we start doing the tracking and kind of have a full concept. Leonard writes most of his lyrics when we're in the studio, so that usually kind of puts all the ideas flowing. So we'll see.
Right.
Hopefully we can get something done in the next year.
Right. I think we've actually had some of our members ask us if you've been a continuous member of the band all this whole time over the last several years.
Yeah, I never quit. I just stopped touring.
Right.
I had a daughter. She'll be 5 in May, so kind of when that came around, I was both a little burned out from touring so much and did the dad thing. So
right.
I'm pretty happy.
Gotta do the dad thing, man.
Yeah.
That's always more important, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 2 daughters. One just turned 24, and one will be 5 in May. So.
Right.
A little spread out there.
A little spread out.
When you first started playing drums, did you set out to be a metal drummer, or did you were trained in other things?
I always started playing metal until right before I joined Cephalic. I quit playing metal.
Really?
Yeah, the project that I was in with Steve, our guitar player, was just getting really grueling and wasn't really paying off, and I was kind of sick of it. So me and him started a funk project. Very primacy, very progressive. We were called Giblet. We did about 6 songs. And then Zach, our old guitar player, asked me to join as a favor for like 6 months. And it's 18 years later.
Right. So you quit playing metal, but then you kind of went back to it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard to turn away from the band at that point because everybody had the exact same goals in mind.
Right.
We were starting to make a little bit of progress.
Right.
I mean, at that point, it was go to a bookstore, buy a Book Your Own Tour magazine, make phone calls, play for 3 people, go out for 2 weeks, everybody spend $1,000, come back, re-up on cash, and do it again.
Right.
But Relapse was into that at that time, so they kind of swooped us up and helped us just progress as time went on. So.
Right. Well, you have one of the most unique and distinctive drumming styles in metal, and certainly in extreme metal.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And we've always assumed that you had some other kind of training, like some jazz training or some other formal training, because you're so versatile.
At the time that I quit playing death metal, I was looking at going to the Lamont School of Music, a division of DU. So I went and auditioned and got accepted. It was one of those, like, I was totally self-taught up to that point. So like, if you ask me to play a 2/4 swing, I can't do it, but if you show me, I can do it. So they were impressed with that, but I didn't really get any kind of scholarship, and it was a very expensive education. So I did go and study with a guy for about 9 months. And when our first CD, Conforming, came out, was kind of when I dropped off doing lessons with him. But he basically taught me every different style. Like, we worked on a different style for a couple weeks and moved on to the next. Pretty much taught me how to learn everything that I wasn't already learning. So that was a huge progression for me.
Right.
Plus getting out of listening to metal, the mid-90s kind of sucked for metal. So I think everybody in the band started exploring different styles of music, and a lot of growth came from that for sure. And I've done a few other projects. I've done a couple CDs with my dad. kind of like a jazzy bebop New Orleans style, all the way down to almost bluegrassy. And then I've done a couple recording sessions with Trace Bruance, the guitar player for Mr. Bungle, for Secret Chiefs 3.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, there's one song on Book of Horizons that I recorded. And then he actually just got in touch with me with a royalty check from that album that came out like 8 years ago. I got 2 CDs coming out this year for stuff that I recorded like 6 years ago.
Right.
So,
Nice.
and this stuff should be cool because it's not metal. It's all Middle Eastern traditional songs that I brought the tabla parts to the drum set for him.
Right.
Gave him a couple versions of each. I did like 28 songs in 3 days, so I'm pretty stoked to hear it come to fruition. The other drummer that recorded at that same time with him was Matt Cameron from Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, so
Nice.
I'm interested to see if he coincides some of his stuff too.
Well, over the years, you guys have had a chance to tour with a lot of other amazingly talented, bands and musicians. Are there other drummers that have inspired you?
Oh yeah, I mean, being self-taught to begin with, I've always learned from visual. I've watched every drummer that I possibly can. And one thing behind that is, even if they're not the greatest drummer, I've learned how to not to do something. But yeah, I pull influence from everybody I watch, everybody I see. And we've toured with so many different bands.
Right.
Through the whole slew of genres, from thrash all the way to hardcore and death metal, grindcore. So we've been really blessed in that sense, and been well-rounded enough, I think, to kind of fit. So that's been good, and that's influenced us a lot. We went out with like Hatebreed and Madball, Terror, and Hate Eternal. Like that tour was a big eye opener for a certain part of a different genre.
Right.
So it's been good. Like I said, I hate to say blessed, but we've been pretty lucky to kind of fit into a lot of different categories and tour with a lot of different stuff. So
Right.
it's been good.
I remember reading an older interview with you guys, and you may have just been joking, but you said that you tried to learn Cryptopsy songs to like keep your chops up or something like that.
That was a joke.
It was, yeah. That would keep your chops up, I guess.
Yeah.
If you did.
Flo's one of my good buddies, and we're like 2 different drummers from the same scene.
For sure.
He's more like a Dennis Chambers from the jazz scene. I'm kind of more like a Dave Weckl-ish. That was always my biggest influence.
Right.
Same kind of thing, but totally different style.
Right. Yeah,
I wouldn't want to tackle that, to be honest with you.
Right. He's pretty extraordinary. Yeah.
Oh, he's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Right. Their new stuff is pretty good. I was just listening to it.
I've only listened to little snippets of it, but I'm definitely need to remember that it's out there.
Right.
Listen to it.
So other than Iceland, do you have any other travel plans with Cephalic coming up at all, or?
No, this thing just kind of came up, and it was an opportunity we couldn't really turn down. So
Right.
most of the time, a trip to Iceland will turn into a 2-week trip to Europe, and that kind of takes me out of the equation. So
Right.
it's nice that I'm turning it into a vacation, but we're able to go and just do this one show. So we'll see what happens. We need to put out a new album for tons of opportunities to start popping up again, but
Right.
I still won't be doing the touring on that.
Right. Excellent.
I think we've even discussed maybe having Patrice write a couple songs with the new album, which would be interesting.
So he's sort of the permanent fill-in person for touring?
As much as possible, because he's Gorguts' full-time drummer.
That's right.
And, he does a couple other things. He fills in with, a couple of different Canadian bands from time to time. So,
Right.
yeah, they usually try to fit him into the mix, though. I think Patrice does justice, for sure.
He's good.
He's an
Definitely.
insanely talented drummer, so.
Saw him with Gorguts here, actually,
Yeah.
and that was,
Yeah, I
that
was
was
here.
amazing, yeah.
Well, you have to have an insanely talented drummer to fill in for you. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I think that's about all the questions
No,
we
that's
have
great.
for you then.
Thank you, John.
No worries.
John,
Appreciate
really
it.
pleasure talking to you.
Appreciate
I'm going to
the
go grab
time.
my sticks and warm up.
All
Thank you,
right.
sir.
Have a great show.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.